In this video, we'll be taking a look at 5 NBA games happening on November 19, 2025, and providing you with free team picks and total picks for each one of those games. So 10 picks in total. Welcome back to Cash Out Sports. Let's dive right into it. Oh, and don't forget to subscribe and to click the bell icon to get notified as soon as these videos get released so that you have more time to plan out your bets. As we provide these videos on a daily basis, I can guarantee that you'll have all the important information that you'll need on these 5 NBA games after fully watching this video. One more thing before we start, if you would like to gain access to our best exclusive sports picks to take your journey to the next level, then check out our Patreon in the link down below where we offer our best single picks, parlay picks, and much more. Now let's get started. Houston Rockets versus Cleveland Cavaliers. The Houston Rockets meet the Cleveland Cavaliers at Rocket Arena on Wednesday night. Houston continues to deal with injuries, with Tari Eason and Dorian Finney-Smith out, and Jabari Smith Jr. listed as questionable. Cleveland stays short-handed with Max Strus and Darius Garland ruled out and Sam Merrill uncertain. Both teams enter with strong form, which sets up a competitive matchup. Houston won both meetings last season, plays with steady rhythm, and now has Durant in the mix, which shapes their approach against a Cleveland group still working through roster gaps. Houston arrives on a run of 4 straight wins and fields an offense that ranks among the league's most explosive. The status of Garland affects how Cleveland can pressure the Houston guards. Houston plays without a classic point guard, yet their attack stays organized. Garland's presence would let Cleveland test matchups in the backcourt. Houston can challenge Mitchell on the perimeter through the defensive work of Amen Thompson. Durant's length and spacing create matchup strain, while Sengun's range pulls Allen away from the paint and stretches Cleveland's coverage. Houston owns the top 3-point rate in the league, and that becomes a problem for a Cleveland club that sits 25th in 3-point defense. Cleveland earns respect at home with a 6-2 straight-up record, yet Houston brings strong road form and steady results. Houston stands 8-4 against the spread this season, and Cleveland is 5-10 against the spread. This game marks the second time Houston enters as an underdog, and they have covered their last 3 in that spot. Cleveland's offense leans further on the perimeter if Merrill cannot play. Houston's new configuration works well with Sengun and Durant both active and productive, and that shapes how this meeting unfolds. As our first pick for this matchup, the Houston Rockets money line is our full game side pick. Houston enters as the top scoring team in the league. Cleveland ranks 8th. Both teams push the pace, with Cleveland 6th in pace and Houston 7th. Houston has scored 121 or more points in 4 of its last 5 games. The tempo should stay high, and both groups should generate clean 3-point looks. The conditions point toward a strong offensive environment. As our second pick for this matchup, over the projected total is our full game total pick. Toronto Raptors versus Philadelphia 76ers. The Toronto Raptors visit the Philadelphia 76ers at Wells Fargo Center on Wednesday night. Toronto continues to play without Ochai Agbaji, and Colin Murray-Boyles sits on the injury report as questionable. Philadelphia keeps Kelly Oubre Jr., Joel Embiid, and Paul George out of action again. These teams met on November 8, when Philadelphia won by a score of 130-120 behind 31 points from Tyrese Maxey. Embiid also chipped in 29 that night, and his absence changes the shape of this matchup. Oddsmakers lean toward the home side, yet Toronto enters with strong form that deserves attention. Toronto has won 8 of its last 9 games and has covered 7 of its last 10 games. 6 of its 9 wins this season have come on the road. Philadelphia deals with constant lineup shuffling. Embiid plays 1 game, then sits. George returned for a stretch, then landed back on the injury list. These swings test a team that tries to settle into a rhythm. Toronto arrives as one of the league's steadier squads. It did not look sharp in its most recent outing, but its trend line shows a group that handles disruption and keeps competing. As our first pick for this matchup, the Toronto Raptors money line is our full game side pick. Season averages do not capture the current identity of these teams. Toronto's defense ranks 4th in the league over the last 7 games, while Philadelphia sits 17th in that span. Philadelphia's offensive rating has also slipped to 21st, which lowers the expected pace and shot quality. Toronto's offense may not flourish in this building, yet its recent defensive work helps limit the pressure on its scoring. Philadelphia still leans on Maxey, although his path to clean looks tightens when the opposing defense stays organized. With both teams trending toward tighter defensive efforts, the rhythm at both ends shifts from the shootout they produced in early November. As our second pick for this matchup, under the projected total is our full game total pick. Charlotte Hornets versus Indiana Pacers. A pair of struggling Eastern Conference teams meet in Indiana as Charlotte heads to face Indiana on Wednesday night. Both squads try to steady themselves in a season marked by long, rough patches. Charlotte continues to operate without Grant Williams, Brandon Miller, and Trey Mann. Indiana moves ahead without Tyrese Halliburton, Obi Toppin, Aaron Nesmith, and Quentin Jackson. The absences shape the rotation on both sides and leave each club searching for reliable production. Charlotte enters after falling short in its recent outing. Newpel produced a strong night and LaMelo Ball returned, yet the team still slipped late. Indiana comes in after Detroit, missing its top player, controlled the game and exposed more issues that have lingered for Indiana. The group has struggled at home with a 1-5 record in its own building. Opponents have outscored Indiana by an average of 8.4 points per game there while hitting 48% from the field. Charlotte has dropped 6 of its last 7. Although Ball, Bridges, and Nopil should be available, Charlotte holds a modest edge in health with 4 wins and 7 covers, while Indiana stands at 1 win and 5 covers. The injuries on the Indiana side affect the top of the roster and leave Charlotte with the most dynamic player on the floor. Indiana has been a favorite twice this year and has lost both against the spread and straight up. Charlotte shows better output on each end despite its own flaws. Indiana remains thin and the lack of depth shapes the way this contest might unfold. As our first pick for this matchup, the Charlotte Hornets money line is our full game side pick. Charlotte has finished under the posted number in 8 of 14 entering Tuesday night. The team sits in the middle of the league in scoring offense and offensive efficiency. Charlotte also ranks near the bottom in three-point defense and field goal percentage defense. Indiana has stayed under in 9 of 14. Its scoring output and efficiency sit near the league floor. Indiana plays at a faster tempo, yet the offensive issues on both sides limit scoring stretches. The defensive problems exist, but neither team has produced steady shot making. As our second pick for this matchup, under the projected total is our full game total pick. Golden State Warriors versus Miami Heat. The Miami Heat welcome the Golden State Warriors to the Kaseya Center on Wednesday night. The visitors continue without Jonathan Kuminga and DeAnthony Melton, while the home side has ruled out Tyler Herro and listed Bam Adebayo as questionable. The Warriors enter the night in the second half of a back-to-back set, and their veteran core often faces heavier strain in these situations. They dropped a rough one to the Magic last night, which moved their road mark to 4-7 straight up. Stephen Curry also tweaked his ankle, so his status carries real uncertainty. The Heat enter rested, they play with pace, and the possible return of Adebayo gives them a lift on both ends. They come off an impressive showing against the Knicks, and their home environment often helps them find rhythm. The Warriors could face tired legs, and their best player may sit. Miami also has a chance to answer for a previous meeting, with Jimmy Butler on the other side of the matchup. After weighing these factors, the direction points toward a specific outcome. As our first pick for this matchup, the Miami Heat to win and cover the spread as favorites is our full game side pick. Golden State averages 115.7 points on 45.4% shooting and allows 114 points on 47.4% shooting. They hit 37.5% from 3 and 83.2% at the line. They allow opponents to shoot 35.9% from deep and collect 42 rebounds per game. Miami averages 125.4 points on 49.2% shooting and allows 122.2 points on 43.8% shooting. They shoot 8.4% from 3 and 80.1% at the stripe. They allow 32.7% from deep and secure 44.5 rebounds per game. The pace, efficiency numbers, and defensive gaps shape the direction for the total once all elements are considered. As our second pick for this matchup, over the projected total is our full game total pick. Denver Nuggets versus New Orleans Pelicans. The Denver Nuggets and New Orleans Pelicans meet Wednesday at the Smoothie King Center in a matchup shaped by a few key injuries. Denver sits without Christian Braun and Julian Strawther, while New Orleans monitors Saddiq Bey and Zion Williamson, both listed as questionable. Denver entered the week on a strong run before Chicago halted its momentum in a surprising result on Monday. New Orleans has struggled to earn trust at the window, and its recent form has not sparked much confidence. Denver has taken 8 wins in its last 10 games and has covered in 7 of those outings. The team has stumbled when asked to cover large spreads, yet New Orleans has gone 3-7-0 against the number in its last 10 tries as a double-digit underdog. Denver faces frustration after its last performance, and the roster expects to respond with focus. New Orleans has only 2 wins so far. Denver has also claimed the last 4 meetings between these teams. The setup favors Denver based on consistency, roster stability, and the contrast in recent execution. As our first pick for this matchup, the Denver Nuggets to win and cover the spread as favorites is our full game side. Pick Denver averages 124.5 points on 50.6% shooting and allows 111.3 points on 44.8% shooting. The team hits 36.4% from deep and 84% at the line, while holding opponents to 31.5% from 3. Denver collects 47.3 rebounds per game. New Orleans averages 108.2 points on 43.8% shooting and gives up 121.6 points on 50.3% shooting. The team converts 34.7% from long range and 75.9% at the stripe, while allowing 35.8% from beyond the arc. New Orleans secures 41.6 rebounds per game. The strengths and weaknesses on both sides create conditions that can push offense to the foreground, with tempo and shot quality serving as key factors. As our second pick for this matchup, over the projected total is our full game total pick. That's all for now, so if you have any other games you would like reviewed, then leave a comment down below with the game you would like analyzed. Subscribe to our channel, leave a like on this video, and we'll get to it as soon as we possibly can. We would also love to hear your opinion on the picks presented to you in this video, whether you agree or disagree with them, so leave a comment down below and do let us know.